sometimes I think you should have been born in the South.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
You would be a totally different biatch, though.
You think I would?
You'd probably be friffy.
How do you think that I would look if I was in the South?
Oh my God, dude. You would be... Where in the South?
Shit.
Where in, like, Miami South or like Alabama?
No. Like, because Miami South is not actually the South.
Like
Miami
Alabama?
South is like still Jersey, New York kind of ish.
So like Alabama?
Yeah. How do you think I would be if I was a Southern belle?
Dude, you would have your hair brushed. You would have your hair brushed. You'd have makeup on. You would not have
makeup now.
You would not have no tattoos, bro.
You don't think so?
No, dude.
You don't think I would have any tattoos? Is that for like anybody that grows up in the South, or is that just like because you think the way I am, I wouldn't have tattoos?
I think that just if you were growing up in Alabama, going to church.
Like Faith? Is Faith a true Southerner?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah?
She is.
But she's a biker. She's got a...
Bam Nation. She's an abomination.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like fucking with this mic over here while we're talking because
no,
it's like
I think that Faith even like took her Bama roots and went a little.
Dude,
Cuckoo
Faith
for
has a
coconuts.
Harley Davidson. She's like a rocker.
Yeah, but she's still like Southern Belle, ain't got no tattoos, like wants to
And she always does the bless her heart.
bless your heart.
Bless her heart.
Bless your heart.
I feel like
Oh
I just
my
say,
Lord.
Yeah. I feel like or she says, shit. She'll go,
Bless him.
Oh,
Bless
frig.
you. Yeah, or say bless you.
Yeah, like when you're feeling like shit and she's like,
Bless
you
you.
come into the gym and she's like, how are you feeling? And I'm like, oh, I didn't sleep very well. She's like, bless you. I'm like, what? I didn't sneeze.
Dude, I'll be like, yeah, a car ran over my foot and my my family died but I'm all right. Oh, bless you.
Oh, bless you.
Bless you.
Oh, bless your heart.
It's like,
Yeah, she does do that. That's funny as
that
hell.
solved all my problems, Faith.
No,
she's
you were
the
like, oh
sweetest.
man, that sucks.
Yeah, I know. I'm like way worse, honestly. She's like the sweetest.
You're like, well, shit could be worse.
Yeah, she's like the sweetest human, and I'm over here. I'm just like Tracy would be like, yeah, I broke my fibia. It's not even a fucking. I'll be like that. Wow, that sucks.
Like when I told you, remember I
My
told you?
fibia.
Yeah, remember when
bone,
I told you I ran
'cause
with
that
my
one's real.
toe dislocated? I was like, yeah, I tripped and fell on the greenway and I ran like a mile with my pinky toe dislocated. And you were like, man, brother, that sucks. And I was like, yeah, no sympathy. Small
No,
violin.
dude, I have zero. Because my thing is like if I would do it, so I can't. I have no sympathy for myself, so I don't really have sympathy for other people either.
Yeah. I just feel like that's like me and yours thing though, is like, shit could be worse. I think that's how I think about it.
Shit could be worse.
Yeah, you complain about some stuff and you're like, yeah, today might suck, or yeah, today's good. And you're like, shit could be worse. Everything's great. Everything's actually fine.
Everything's all right.
You know?
Well, welcome, BarTalk listeners. Welcome back, BarTalk.
BarTalk.
That was rough.
BarTalk. It's like a little get up.
She's fucking BarTalk.
BarTalk. I'm getting ready. I have to get my
Last
vocal
night
cords
we
ready
let
because
the
we're drinking some
liquor talk.
tequila.
Have you ever heard? Have you seen Theo Von's podcast? No, dude, he's like, dude, everyone's listening to Morgan Wallen. He's like people with fucking throat cancer. Last night we let the liquor talk. I love him, dude. His recent episode with the guy who does Sunday Conversations.
You got to send it to me.
Oh fuck, it's the funniest. Last night we let the liquor talk.
You got to send it to me so I can watch it.
Oh, anyways,
Weirdly enough, having our own podcast for some reason, maybe it's just because life's been hectic the last like 2 weeks, like as far as just like getting shit done with like the website and stuff. I haven't had time to like sit down and listen to a good podcast. The whole thing. I keep listening to spurts. Like I'll listen to 15 minutes, which is kind of like normally what I do. I like listen to 15 minutes and then I'll do something else. And then I'll listen.
It's what you do anyways.
It's what I do in my life. But I'll normally finish a podcast. And for some reason, I haven't sat down for a while and like listened to a whole podcast all the way through. I don't know. So you'll have to send me some good ones.
It sounds just like you.
It just sounds like a me problem. Dude, like last night, dude, I don't know what's good, but last night at like 2:00 in the morning, I woke up and I just could not go back to bed. So I got into a deep scroll on the Northern Lights. And like for some reason, like the amount of plasma that came out of the sun or something in the last week, you know, like whatever, it was like the biggest it's been in a while. And people in California had a live feed of the Northern Lights. And I was sitting awake at like 2:00 in the morning just for like, just scrolling through all of this Californian live feed TikTok stuff, watching they were beautiful. And then it got to be like 2:30 and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I gotta go back to bed. Like,
What in the fuck?
I don't know. Just I've been like just in random places recently. Just doing random shit. Like, I don't know. I just can't get it together.
Okay.
Shit could be worse though. I mean, it's kind of fun watching the Northern Lights at like 2:00 in the morning. It was fucking crazy. Whatever. Anyway, we're here to talk about Abigail's last 2 weeks.
Oh.
Well, okay, let's start with listen, I was missing all my people last week. I was alone.
I did say something. I said something to Megan, one of the girls who went with me to the girl that went with me to Atlanta.
The only person she went with.
Yeah, what the fuck am I talking about? Like I got other friends.
Yeah, the only other friend
I was talking
besides me.
Yeah. So anyways, like Megan, I looked at her and I was like, dude, I was like, Trask must be fucked up right now because all of her people were gone.
Everybody was fucking gone.
Yeah.
Like literally everybody was gone for spring break. Oh my God.
Shit.
Back it up in reverse, Terry. Spring. What the fuck was I saying? Everybody was gone on spring break last week.
This is going to be a bad episode.
And then it's just because I can't talk. I'm thinking about the night we're going to have later. So I'm all like fucked up.
I'm scared. Like, I'm not going out with y'all. You're trying to get fucking it up. You're trying to get tittied, bro.
So what? I haven't in a minute.
In
a minute. I'm gonna need
that smile is so evil when you make that smile.
Because I just want a new country bar opened up.
This is why I'm drinking coffee, bro. I haven't even studied the dance moves since LJ. I'm out of the game.
Out of the line? You can't remember the line dances? We did like 3.
I know, but it's been like 2 months.
Oh.
And now all I'm thinking about is foot sweeps, bro.
Well, okay, if you hung out with us, so Abigail's going to a comedy show, and then we're going to this place. I keep saying
Dukes
it wrong.
and Dotties.
Dukes and Dotties. Dotties and Dukes.
Dukes and Dotties.
Dukes and Dotties. And it's a new country bar that's in town, and there's only like one place to go line dancing in this whole fucking city.
And it's only one day, too.
No. It's Wednesday, Thursday.
No. I'm saying the one that was there before.
Oh, yeah.
At the Moon, it's only Stetson's is only Friday night.
Fridays.
And she can't really do that because she wants to get lit, but then she's got to run Saturday morning.
Yeah, we got to run. Like, we still have priorities, you know? So we got to run. I mean, like, whatever. So, yeah, we ran this morning, and then we're going to go tonight. Abigail's going to a comedy show.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, after the comedy show, you can just come meet us, and we can, like, do it real quick. Because they have line dance lessons and then the line dances. And then the actual bar opens up at 9:30.
I probably won't make it in time. It depends. It starts at 7. So, but the comedians are notoriously late.
Well, whatever. I mean.
But this is a clean comedian. So I feel like it's like because he's a clean comedian, he don't cuss, you know. He also probably is more punctual.
Oh, I don't like that.
I didn't like that either. I didn't know that until like 2 days ago. I was like, what the fuck did I just pay $70 for? I paid $70 for no cuss words.
Oh, annoying.
What am I in church?
Yeah.
Going to fucking church. I paid $70 to go to church. I could just do that tomorrow morning for free.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Anyways.
That's lame. Anyways, I got my people back because everybody was on the spring breaker last week. And she was gone doing, you know, her jujitsu shenanigans and stuff at this badass school and place in Atlanta. Yeah. So everybody was fucking gone. I was lonely. So tell us about that. Tell us why you left me for a fucking week.
Well, it was the best week of my life. No, I was kidding. It was incredible, actually. It was so nice. It was just being able to get away and just train jujitsu and be at this school. It was so cool to experience a different environment. And when I went to, it's Autos Atlanta. And
yeah, I was gonna say who the school is and who the guy is that's there.
Bruno Oh my God, don't make me do this.
No, but say who he is for people that don't know.
Professor Bruno. He's he was like Hofamenda's main training partner. Really just very, very talented jiu-jitsu practitioner and instructor. And he competed a lot. And now he coaches other people who want to compete and be successful in competing. And so it's primarily a competition school. It's not like a self-defense school, which there are different kinds of schools you can go to.
A lot of girls.
That was awesome. Yes, there were a lot of girls, and that was awesome. A lot of them were actually higher ranked than me too. So like I was training mostly with purple belts, brown belts, black belts, females. It was so awesome, and it just felt so good to like get my ass kicked, but not feel hurt after training because they were girls, they were females. So it's like they can only be so heavy, you know, like.
Well, like normally she trains with like 2 other females, and the rest of the school's dudes.
Yeah, and they're all obviously testosterone-filled bros, and they are just heavier. And so I'll leave sometimes sparring, and my body will be like, ugh, you know.
And it's not like you're competing against guys anyway. And she was competing a week later. So that's like awesome that you were able to roll with females a whole week before you competed.
All very talented. It was very interesting to go to a comp school and see the jiu-jitsu's totally different. And how talented they are, how professional it was. Bruno was incredibly nice. They were very hospitable. Like, they all welcomed me with open arms. They all helped me. One of the black belts basically gave me, like, a free personal. And, you know, they took me, like, we all went to lunch. And, you know, just, like, Bruno changed some of his curriculum to help me out. And so, really incredible environment, great training, great people. It was very encouraging. They're like to hear from people who compete, or Bruno, the professor, to be able to hear from them, hey, you have a lot of potential. Like, if you want to pursue something far in jiu-jitsu, if you want to be a world champion, like, this is possible for you.
Hell yeah.
You know, it was very, like, that was just like, I never heard that. It was like, in my mind, I'm like, damn, I start jiu-jitsu at 20. Like, this is late in the game for a lot of people. And like, what the fuck am I doing? And maybe I'll just do it for fun. And I can't just do things for fun. So
just all in or all out. So
yeah, I don't.
Yeah, but you're fucking good. It's good that they recognize that though, that they were willing to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and being there with Megan, she's just like so kind and encouraging and helped me the whole week with making sure that everything was good for training. And we, like, I don't know, it was just nice. It was, you get to, it's like I got to literally focus on just training, eating, sleeping. Like,
that's right.
That was it. It was like I got to have like a little taste of like what it would feel like to be a professional athlete. And I was like, oh, this is nice.
Right. The life. It was so nice that she came back with 2 tattoos.
I came back with 2 new tattoos. Yeah, I got 2 new tattoos. Very personal to me. They don't make sense. It says fear is life, fear is death. But
it makes sense.
It was, I mean, the story behind it too is just also very personal, like where it came from and how, what came around, like what made me even journal this in one of my journal entries, and why it's something that I want to tattoo on my body is more personal. But it was very fitting for me competing at PAN's the next week.
Yeah.
So obviously,
that's awesome. Shout out to that school though for like taking you in like that.
Oh, I mean, super nice. I mean, just like because they had people also training for PAN, so the fact that they spent time with me as well, and just super nice. And I feel
like, I don't know how jiu-jitsu is, and maybe it's the same way, but I know that working at Momentum and then having like, you know, F45, Chaos, Orange Theory, like people are very territorial. So it's nice to know that there's like schools out there that you can just go to for a week and train with them and have good relationships with them and not feel like an outcast. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Cross training is a big controversial topic for jiu-jitsu people and different schools, but Atos is one of those schools that encourages cross-training. Yeah. They will cross-train with Roberto Travin, which I also got to go to that school, and it's a cool school. Very tough, very hardcore. Definitely great for, like, if you want to comp train. I wouldn't say great if you're, like, a hobbyist. You're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But they cross-train all the time, and Roberto Travin will come over to Atos Atlanta, the professor, and Bruno will go over to Roberto Travin's, and they'll meet and train together, and the students will cross-train and all kinds of stuff. So
that's awesome.
Very encouraged there, just because it's like, get the most amount of information you can, you know, and Bruno understands that maybe he cannot provide all of the information or all of the time or all of the intensity or whatever it may be that his students need. So he encourages them to go to other schools. And just the fact that they helped me out, and like the girls were so like, there was no cattiness at the school. Like with some girls, there's like a, like girls can be really mean.
Girls are bitchy, man.
Girls can be really mean. And the people there, they were just so kind, like so sweet and so encouraging. It was never like I would get submitted or whatever and I felt defeated. It was always just like, oh my God, like that was incredible. How did so what did I do here? And they're like telling me and giving me advice and helping me out. It was all, and like, the other teams on the side, like while I'm rolling with one of the girls, one of the other girls is talking to both of us, helping both of us out during our roll. Like
that's
there was no like cattiness or like you're an outsider or anything like that. It was just like so welcoming. Hey, come in, like let's train, let's learn.
That's awesome. Now were all those girls that you were rolling with that you were there with also competing in PANs, or did they go?
So one of the purple belts was competing in PANs. There was a white belt and a black belt female. They were competing at a Naga. One was prepping for a it's like called the Medusa tournament. It's like on UFC Fight Pass. It's a pretty like a super fight. One of them, a brown belt, was prepping for PANs. Like there were a lot of dudes. A lot of the guys were prepping for PANs. Were you
able to see them while you were there?
The guys?
They compete? Yeah.
I didn't see them compete at PANs because, I mean, literally nobody was. My day, Wednesday, everybody was traveling that day. Like, nobody was there. Like, that's why I was almost just like, whatever, because nobody was there. I mean, there were a few people, like a few big name people that were there, especially if they were coaches. Like, they had been big name people, and now they're just coaching other students, and their students. But it was all like, I think it was white belts, blue belts. I mean...
Yeah, and it was on a fucking Wednesday.
And it was on a Wednesday. Like everyone, nobody.
These PANs lasted from Wednesday to Sunday.
PANs is a very big deal tournament, but that being said, blue belt is not a big deal belt. So nobody really cares about seeing, like nobody really wants to see the blue belts, to be honest. Like except for the coaches of the blue belts. Like most people want to watch brown, black. That's it. Even purple. It's kind of like.
Yeah, but you gotta start somewhere, so that's why you're asking.
And especially not white belts. White belts are just, I mean, like, nobody wants to watch the white belts. Like,
right.
Yeah. Wow, you guys really both are just bad. You
both just don't know what you're doing.
You guys are at like a really high level tournament doing stupid shit. Awesome, So.
Oh my God. So she left for like a week. You came back for literally
2 days.
2 days.
Yeah, I came back for 2 days, turned my ass right back. Not around. I went to Kissimmee and I competed at PANs, and I like left Tuesday night, competed Wednesday, lost. Fast forward, so we'll get into that. But lost, and then I was like looked at my watch and I was like, I still have time to make it to nighttime training. Drove my ass back and went to night training that night.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding. I totally
at
did
Winsky?
That. Yeah. I went all the way back to Tallahassee, and I was like,
nuts, man.
I can make it for the 7 p.m. class, and I did the 7 p.m. class.
Like, okay. Talk about fucking punishment.
Yeah.
Legit.
So,
what was the punishment that Abigail's so next level, dude? I swear
missed
to God.
a client.
Like sometimes I'm like, this bitch is fucking crazy. What happened when you missed your alarm?
Yeah, I slept in and I overslept for a client, and this never happened to me in my life before, dude. And
people are human. They make mistakes.
Yeah, but
it's okay.
Fuck that. So I punished myself.
It's one time that you overslept your alarm.
I made myself for like a month straight wake up at 5 a.m.
Like for no goddamn reason.
On the weekend, didn't matter what. If I had something going on that day or if I didn't, I made myself wake up at 5 a.m.
She's like, no, I can't do this. I got to be up early. And I was sitting with her like, you don't have shit to do tomorrow. She's like, I have to wake up at 5. Why? Because I overslept my alarm 7 weeks ago. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? I was like, stop this.
Yeah, I do stuff like that.
I'm like,
yeah.
Life's not that serious, man. I mean, like, you make mistakes. Don't do it again. A little slap on the wrist.
It
damn,
wasn't
that
even
sucks.
punishment.
Okay, move on.
It was more like I just sat there and I was like, damn. I was like, at the very least, I thought I'd get a workout out of this damn tournament, so I'm gonna drive home and work out now, because I was like, that was the fucking shortest 6 minutes of my life. Like,
all right, so let's
felt like I had
go to the day before, yada yada yada.
Okay,
you're there.
So I'm at PANs. I show up, and I was like, dude, I get a free T-shirt. So I
drove
up.
my ass all the way here for this comfortable ass t-shirt.
I'm wearing it. It's super comfortable.
Right.
So I got my t-shirt. When I get there, I get my t-shirt. I'm like I'm a little nervous about making weight. My dumbass, bro. So I'm supposed to be 129 in the Ghee, right? With my belt on, with my rash guard, with my shit.
I wish I was 129.
No, okay. Oh, dude, I weighed in.
Don't. If you're like 125, I swear to fucking God.
125.6.
That makes me want to vomit, Abigail.
With all of my shit on. I was skeletal. I was so little, bro. I was like, I looked, because I was
Abigail, that makes me want to fucking puke. I'm having anxiety thinking about being 125 pounds right now.
I looked at my coach. I was like, I'm gonna go weigh myself to make sure I'm good, because I want to eat a little bit before I compete. Right, I go weigh myself and I come back and I'm like, well, I can fucking eat. And he was like, what'd you weigh? I was like, 125.6. He was like, God damn. I was like, dude, I shit a lot this morning.
But didn't you have to weigh in like right before you competed? Not even the morning of?
So you can do a tester weight. So you can test your weight before you go officially weigh in. Oh. So I did a tester weigh in to make sure I was
she
good.
didn't compete until like 1.
Yeah, I didn't compete.
She had a lot of time.
My first tournament was 12:50, and so which I hate competing late, but whatever. So I went, and once you're in this thing, once you weigh in, you get your Ghee tested. They like make sure your Ghee is like regulation Ghee, whatever. And then you go into the bullpen. You're in there, like you're in this thing, in this bullpen, right? You're past like security, in quote. And I'm in there, and once I was in the bullpen, I actually wasn't that nervous. Like I had normal nerves, but like before I was in the bullpen, I was just like so nervous. Like
you were shitting normal a brick for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, normal Abigail nervous. And then, which is just way too nervous. And then I went into the bullpen. Level. Yeah, and once I was in there, I was like, all right, it's real. Like, and I'm past everything. I don't have to worry about like, getting my Ghee tested. I don't have to worry about making weight. I'm here, Mm-hmm. And once you're in the bullpen, man, dude, I did not realize, like, they're like, you're in the bullpen? Abigail, they called me Abigail Leah, but whatever. I was like, okay. Abigail Leah? And I'm like, that's me, I think. And they're like, let's
possibly be me.
Yeah, so she walks me to my mat. And when I say I had to like a minute to like stretch my legs out for a second, they're like, go. Fight.
Really?
Yeah. Ready to go. So I get in, I shake hands with this chick. I'll break down the match. If you follow me on Instagram, I kind of did a little bit of a breakdown on my story.
Which is gone because that was 7 days ago.
Yeah. But
R.I.P. the 24-hour story.
Yeah.
but
if you're listening to this later and you watched it previously, you'll know what I'm talking about.
You'll hear it again.
So I went against this one chick and we slapped hands or whatever. And dude, I swear to God, the one bitch that doesn't pull guard is this chick. I'm like, you've got me so fucked up. I've been training for this whole week is everyone's been like, they're probably going to pull guard. I'm like, I'm working on intercepting guard pulls. I'm working on like getting out of De La Hiva. I'm working on like getting guard passing. I'm working on, bro, she doesn't want to pull guard. She's wanted to take down. I'm like, fuck. So this bitch wants to play top. So I'm like, damn, I like playing top. You like, somebody's got to figure this out. So we're playing, and my idiot self, I'm like, there's just like little details that I was stupid. I wasn't getting inside head position, which basically means like my head is butted into her head so that she only has half of my body to attack, and I also have, half her body fully exposed to attack. So it's a good scenario. Mm-hmm. Actually, she doesn't even have half my body because I'm turned away from her. So she doesn't really have much to attack, and I have more to attack. I wasn't getting inside head position. She was, and I wasn't letting her. I let her have inside head position. So that's mistake one. We're standing, whatever. She's trying to go for single legs. They're not honestly very good. I was trying to go for some sweeps, some takedown sweeps, which were also not good because my hips, she was bent over more, which if you're trying to play judo and sweep people, your hips have to be underneath, like you have to be hip to hip. So you have to close distance, which means they need to have a more upright posture. So it was stupid mistakes, simple things that like I should have just thought about. Mm-hmm. So instead I should have been going for arm drags. I should have been going for single legs. I should have been going for ankle picks. I should have been going for other takedowns that I just wasn't going for at the time because I was so focused on like locking up with her and not getting taken down. We scramble around a little bit, honestly, like waste time. I was just kind of, I got to the point where I was like, I'm over this. Like halfway, we're like 2.5 minutes in and we're both still standing, like trying to take each other down. And so I let my guard down a little bit, which was retarded. And I let her catch a really nice sweep. Like really, like credit to her, man. Good ass foot sweep on me. And she took me down, got 2 points. And I immediately start playing guard. And this is also like fundamental flaw of my entire match, which was I am so focused on getting submissions. I was in my training because I'm not used to training at a competition school. I wasn't focused on points. I was not strategically smart.
I was just about to say, you should probably tell them that because that's what she was doing the whole time, was trying to pull points.
Yeah, she was very, like, summary of the match. We were not technically better than one another, which is cool because, like, the fact that I was at PANS and I was like, these blue belts have been blue belts for years. Like, I saw her Instagram. She'd been a blue belt for, like, 2 years. I've only been training for 2.5 years, And she wasn't technically better than me. She was strategically better than me. Right. So she strategized, okay, I got my 2 takedown points. She tried to get into, like, a side control position. I retained guard fairly well. I went to try and get my guard back and get into closed guard. I couldn't get into closed guard. I did end up getting her in this omoplata submission attempt. She was leaning hard into me. Basically, an omoplata is like a where her arm is like crunched back with my leg. So my leg is wrapping her arm into this twist where her whole shoulder is being twisted back and her hand is going behind her back. Mm-hmm. If you think about like a cop taking somebody down and putting their hand behind their back and twisting it really uncomfortably, it's like that. But with
you posted that on your story, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the leg. So she was leaning into me so that I couldn't sit up to fully submit her, which was smart on her part. And then she was going to try to go over me. She actually did end up kneeing my shit in the face, dude. Getting her leg over my head. And I had to sweep it back over. I should have gone for an omoplata sweep. That's mistake number 2 and gotten sweep points. But again, I wasn't thinking about points. I wasn't thinking about sweeps. That was a flaw.
Right.
I was just thinking about getting a submission, whatever. So she got out of the omoplata situation. I went into a knee shield. We had to reset on the mat. The guy like dragged me back. I never felt so manhandled in my life, dude. He like took me by the gi and like dragged me back into the middle of the floor because we were about to go out of bounds. And then at this point, we probably have like 2 minutes left in the match, like not a lot of time. She's up 2 points. I have 0. And then we're playing off of knee shield. I end up getting, I shoot for a technical stand-up. I go into like a single leg X position and I go for a technical stand-up. So I wrap my arm around her leg and try to bring it to my shoulder to grab her leg and stand up. I couldn't get up in time and she actually got out of it well. And she tried to, after that, she came up on top of me before I could go on top of her. So I didn't get sweep points for that, which I was like, fuck. And then she went for my back. She didn't go for my back. We scrambled well. So I defended the back well. And then she went into my side control. So she was trying to I was my back on the ground and she was trying to put her chest on my chest. And she got 3 points for that because side control, you get 3 points. So that's where she got her 3 points. Now, during this time, I will say like one thing I'm very proud of is I like never felt threatened by a submission. Never felt like there was no like, oh shit, I'm really in deep trouble right now. It was more like, shit, I need to like, fuck, I gotta submit her. I wasn't even thinking about getting points. That's the thing. I wish I had been thinking, hey, I should be working to get more points. It's just not how
you were training.
No.
So it's just not natural for you to think that way.
Yeah, but I was thinking, okay, shit, I gotta submit her. So I'm in the guard and I'm trying to go for submissions in the guard. So what did I do? Oh, so I try to get into closed guard after that because I went back into, I got out of side control. I shoot my leg up immediately to go into closed guard and she had her arm down, which was like, hell yeah. So I went for a triangle fight position, which is like a triangle choke. It's like me choking her with my legs. Mm-hmm. So one of her arms is in, my legs is around her head. She was defending really well because her arm was jammed into my side. So I needed to pull her arm out. At this point, this is the one thing, like my forearms were burning. This always happens whenever the past couple times I've competed is my forearms are on fire. Like they always just get so super lit up. Like nothing else gets tired. My cardio was good. My legs were good. Everything was good. Mm-hmm. My forearms dying. So I'm trying to yank her arm out. And I'm also like working on trying to like I'm like, fuck, I can't like grip things very well. And I'm trying to get her arm out. We have like 30 seconds left. And so I'm thinking while I'm doing this, I'm like, I don't have time to actually choke her out. She won't tap in time. So I have to like immediately when I get her arm out, I have to shoot for an arm bar and like end this thing. And by the time I finally got her arm out, she wedged her hand into my leg. So then I had to get her hand out. I was like, dude. So 10 seconds left. I'm like working on getting her hand out. And I just didn't have enough time to shoot for the submission. And she won on points. But it was like,
I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, you put up a good fight. It's not like I wouldn't be not proud of yourself for that.
No, well,
and
that's what I was saying. It was actually like a really good learning experience because it was just like, okay, I need to be. It was cool to realize like, okay, so I have some skill. I just need to be strategically much better.
Yeah, but
and
also,
I need
like,
to work on my standing. Like just my standing game needs to be better because you always start standing, and I don't like pulling guards, so I'm never gonna be a guard puller. It's just not how I operate.
We were talking about it on the way with you going there. We talked about it like right before how like you might after this already before even doing the competition might want to do submission only matches just because it's not your vibe to be thinking about points. But I just think that's because that's not how you trained. Like you didn't train in competition mindset for any of this except for the week prior.
Yeah, except for the week I was at Autos.
Literally. So you only had 1 week of actually training that way. So I don't know. Maybe if you actually trained and you focused on being more strategic about it, you might just want to do it again instead of going only submission matches.
Yeah, I think I would probably do both. Like I would just try out a bunch of different tournaments. It makes me, I mean, it honestly like made me want to compete more. And it was good for me because I just needed to face my fear of like competing. It was a huge tournament. It was like
a lot of performance anxiety.
Yeah, it was all of North America. And the fact that I was like, I went out and did it. I was like, okay, cool. So I can go out and do the really, really scary thing and lose at it and be like, I'm good. Yeah. I'm okay. Yeah. And so like now it's just like, all right, now I just want to go compete at like every tournament. Yeah, it's like, what's the worst that happens?
Immediately come back and start training.
Yeah, what's the worst that happens? I just fucking lose again? It's like, we can only go up from here. Literally.
Yeah, I mean, it was the 2 weeks was like a huge learning experience for you. And it opened up your minds to a lot of other things, you know. But I mean, I just think that all in all, it was a really good time for you. And having performance anxiety is no fucking joke, man. I mean, that's the only way that you're going to learn is getting thrown into those situations. And you're not going to do that in practice. Like, you're not going to have any of that type of anxiety or like the week prior, 2 weeks prior anxiety in practice when you're practicing for months on end and all of a sudden you have a competition come up. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the reasons why I love that we almost have a competition every month because you're never out of that type of a mindset. Not like you have the availability to do that with jiu-jitsu, but you could go train at different schools that are training that way or maybe like that are more intense or like keep in touch with those people that you were with and maybe just put yourself in uncomfortable situations more often because you're never going to learn how to handle that shit until
you do it. Yeah.
I mean, it's natural to be nervous. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're not nervous, there's something wrong. You know what I'm saying? If you're not nervous, you're kind of like, right, you don't care enough to know that you could potentially shit the bed. I mean, it happens to everybody. That's what athletes do. But like 2 weeks prior, you were literally shitting a brick. Yeah. And you were like, she was so nervous that she wasn't going to make weight. She was nervous about eating. Your stomach was all messed up. You were just nervous, period. And I just think that like that could have been consolidated to like the 3 days before and the day of and like deal with it and how you would have dealt with it. But now it's just a good experience for you to go into anything else, you know? Shit, she was already looking at competitions in Utah because we're going to Utah.
Yeah, there's a Grappling Industries in Salt Lake the same weekend that we're going to be in Utah. So I was like...
That would be so rad.
I might
be competing in Utah doing the Beast and Super and you just doing your jiu-jitsu
I'll just Uber there on Saturday, get it done, and then on Sunday chill with y'all at Spartan.
Fuck yeah. Why not?
That's what I was like, you know, it might as well because I'm trying to look at more tournaments. IBJJF is a little bit tough because they don't release tournament days until like 2 months out. And I'm like...
What? We got lives. We got lives.
You also like, dude, if I gotta fly, like,
like
I'm just gonna book a plane ticket like a month out.
Not with fucking the way the plane tickets are right now.
That's what I'm saying. So,
which you didn't even buy your plane ticket for Utah, and not to get sidetracked, but holy shit, I just spent an ass ton on me and Stephanos tickets.
Yeah.
So you better hop on that quick. So when's the next one? It's April 22nd, right?
April 22nd is just a new breed. And then, which I mean, I say just a new breed. It's a regional tournament, but sometimes like really, really talented people will go compete in new breeds. So it's not like a nothing tournament. But it's a new breed. And then IBJJF Atlanta Open is May 6th and 7th.
May 6th and 7th?
Yep.
Nice.
Because it's Ghee and Nogi.
Cool.
I've been really thinking like I I'm going to compete in the Ghee for a little bit, but part of me wants to just train in the Ghee and compete Nogi.
Really?
Like, yeah, I just like Nogi so much better. I like Nogi so much better. I think it's way more realistic.
Yeah.
I think that Ghee and Nogi can help one another. Like, they can, if you have problems in Nogi, like your Ghee game can help you and vice versa. But I think that there's a point in which actually they begin to impede one another because the grips are so different in Ghee versus Nogi. The guards are even different. Like Ghee, you can play spider guard and lasso guard and things like that, basically where you have like grips on their arms and you can put your feet on their biceps and like block them from passing. And it's like you can't really do that in Nogi. So it just changes a lot of things. So I think that if you're trying, like, you overwhelm your mind too much sometimes if you're focused on learning deeply two different modalities of martial art. Yeah. So I think it's better. It's like focus on one for a little while and then focus on another for a little while instead of doing both. Yeah. Instead of trying, at least for me, I know some people are very smart, like just super smart, and they can understand. I am like a slow learner. Once I understand something, I can understand it very deeply, but it takes me a long time to understand it. And so I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, I think for me, I just need to be like one thing at a time. Like still train in the Ghee, but like put a lot of my mental energy into learning Nogi stuff. And then maybe after a while, I do Nogi for a little while, I'll go back and be like, okay, now I'm going to put more mental energy into Ghee and train in the Ghee a little bit more, stuff like that. Yeah, that's cool. You think you're going to go back to Atlanta before you do Atlanta Open? I would like to. Yeah. I would like to. I don't know if I will have time, but I love training there so much, man. Like, I mean, you should keep in contact with them anyway. Oh, I do. You know what I mean? I message them all the time. Cool. I've messaged them. I mean, like, they were the most encouraging, like, a lot of them were hitting me up day of tournament, wishing me good luck, asking me how I did, asking me how I felt. Like, one of the black belt girls sent me a whole video review of my match, like giving me advice and stuff like that. Just like that. Incredibly, incredibly supportive and kind people. Awesome. And they do that for all their other teammates too, you know. So like I'll see on their stories, like they're promoting each other's fights, super fights, tournaments, matches, things like that. So just really, really cool. Yeah. Good people to surround yourself with. Well, I'm proud of you, dude. That's awesome. It was a good 2 weeks. Yeah. So there's my Atlanta/Kissimmee Pans recap. I came out with a t-shirt. She came out with a fucking t-shirt. I came out with a fucking t-shirt. And some drive and grit and some good changes and some good things and some bad things, but all in all, it's good. Some good lessons. Yeah, some good lessons. Some good lessons learned. All right. Well, we're gonna go drink some tequila and get it a little twisted. What time is it? Do you want to do a drunk episode? It's 3:00. Don't you have to be somewhere at 4? We don't know. We'll see. Okay. But anyway, shout out. Maybe you'll see us in the Same Exact Clothes next week. If not, bye. Bye. Hello?